Hi guys, today I have for you a dupe video. So many people request me to do dupes, and to be quite honest, there's a lot of things that I've tried that are higher end, but there's not that many. Like, I don't have a huge collection of high-end lipsticks or anything like that, and so although I can kind of dupe things to a degree, I don't generally go out and try and find something that matches it because I already have it. So I don't do them very often, but I kind of sat down this morning and, or stood up rather, as it is in my makeup room right now. I would have to stand up to go through all of my drawers, but I went through everything and tried to find the best dupes that I could. So I'm going to kick off with MAC lipsticks. I'm not going to dupe any other lipsticks. I don't really have that many other kind of higher end lipsticks, but I'm going to dupe the ones that I have for you now. I have kind of 4.5 dupes, I'm going to call it, and they're not perfect, but I will put up the pictures for you to see as we go through. I've just done a MAC haul over on my Spendaholic channel, which I'll link below, and I already am kind of swatched up, so I don't want to be kind of down to my elbow by the end of this video. I will just put in pictures that I've already taken this morning whilst I was going through them. So number one, and this is kind of relevant because I'm kind of in the midst of booking a Vegas holiday right now, but we have Vegas Vault from MAC, and it's this kind of orangey, it's an amplified I believe, yes it's an amplified, it's this kind of orangey coral colour that I always remember as being more orange than this. I always kind of think, oh it's too orange, I'm not going to be able to wear it, so I hardly ever reach for it. But whenever I do a dupes post or try to find a dupe for something, it's one of the first things that I pull out. And I have a pretty good one. The formula is different. This is an amplified, it's very creamy, and the dupe I have found is very similar in colour, and I feel like if the formula was the same, if the finish was the same, then they would be almost identical, but because it's a matte, it kind of throws the light off a little bit differently. And the dupe that I found is this, and it's Audacious Revlon Matte Balm. Very, very similar, very kind of corally orange. In my opinion, very difficult for me to wear, but very kind of bold and nice for summer. So that's the first one. Next was the one I wasn't sure about because I'm not entirely sure whether you can still get the dupe. It is Rimmel's Goddess. If you've seen this, I mean look, this is one of my first ever lipsticks, I swear. This is a lipstick that I've had for a really long time. I've looked online and it looks like you can still get them in the States some places, and on eBay and Amazon you can still get them. And there are lots that are kind of similar to this, but this is the one that I have, so I thought I would show you it, and if you've got it then you know that you've already got something similar. But Rimmel Goddess is for me a dupe for MAC's Viva Glam V, which was actually my wedding lipstick. I love this. It's a really, really nice neutral. Some people hate it. It's one of those things. Some people are like, this is a must-have, it's a staple, it's kind of, it has a nice shimmer to it, but it's not kind of too frosty. It's a luster, in case you were wondering, and it's just a really, really nice, easy lipstick to wear. It's one of my favourites, for sure, from MAC. I mean, I really don't wear MAC lipsticks all that much. I kind of reach for other things more than I do my MAC lipsticks, but that I've worn a lot. Next I have MAC's Angel, and this is the Kim Kardashian lipstick. This is the one that supposedly she wears, that kind of like blue toned, very, very pale, I want to say frosty, yes, frost pink. And we have that one up against this, which is it called Tempting Lilac? It is, from L'Oreal Caresse. And again, the finish is a little bit different on this. This is frosty, whereas this is kind of more of a balm gloss type thing, but colour-wise they're very, very similar. They have that kind of is there one called like Lavender Whip or something? I feel like there's a lipstick called that, and whenever I look at this I think this to me looks like Lavender Whip. It's just a real kind of pale blue toned pinky purpley kind of colour, and I think they're really, really similar. I just think for me these aren't going to be identical, you know, you cannot tell them apart kind of dupes, but for you guys that really don't have the budget for a MAC lipstick and you're maybe wanting to buy 2 lipsticks for the price, or even 3 now because the prices have gone up, or even 3 for the difference in the price that you can get a MAC one, then you know, I just wanted to show you some that are very, very similar. Next I have Plumful, which is one that I, one of my more recent purchases. I got this at kind of autumn, Christmas time, you know, in the winter. That's a Plumful kind of colour, isn't it? And this is another luster. Shockingly, lusters are not my favourite finish, but they keep coming up in videos. And whenever I kind of pick them out to take pictures of MAC lipsticks, for whatever reason, they always seem to be lusters. But this is a luster as well. And the dupe that I found for this one is Crush from the Revlon Kissable Balm Stain. And this is slightly more purple, I would say. I'd say this is a little bit warmer, and this is a little bit kind of deeper. It's a little bit more purple, but very, very similar. This is an insane stain. I would say once you've stained your lips and this has worn away a little bit, it's more like Plumful. But they're very, very similar in the way that they look on the lips. Lastly, I have my Half. and it's as near as it can be, but it's not. I have two MAC lipsticks, which I feel like if they had a baby, they would create this Avon lipstick. The Avon lipstick is Beyond Pink. It's this one. It's an absolutely amazing colour. And I'm always trying to dupe Toxic Tail from MAC. It was one of the limited edition ones that came out with Venomous Villain. This is a satin. It's just so unique, and I must say I think it's kind of similar to Unapologetic from my matte balm range. I took all my pictures this morning, and then when I was out I just kind of thought, I'll bet it's really similar to that. So I don't have pictures of them together, but I think it's really similar to that as well. But I feel like if MAC Impassioned and MAC Toxic Tail had a baby, it would be this lipstick. They are so similar. In the pictures, the Avon one is in the centre, but I think it's probably slightly more similar to Impassioned, but it just looks like it's got a touch of Toxic Tail, and they are so similar, but I can't say that they're a dupe for either of them. It's more like a hybrid of them both. Next I have a random hair product. I've mentioned this before, but the Miracle Oil by Caresse, which I believe is available at Aldi. This is a really good dupe for me for the Moroccan Oil. I mean, obviously the packaging is very similar, but because I've never tried the lighter one, because I've always found Moroccan Oil to be quite heavy, you can definitely overdo it. It's more oil than serum. Like the macadamia oil I find to be a lot easier to use, a lot more room for error, whereas the Moroccan Oil I find to be slightly less easy to use, let's just say. I've definitely done it wrong a few times and had to wash my hair. And because of that, I don't find it to be kind of a super easy product to use. I don't find it to be kind of a holy grail product, although it's great when used correctly. I find it to be a little bit tricky, and I don't find it to be any better at all than this Miracle Oil. And for me, the difference in price is insane. I think this is £4 for 50 mils. I don't know if it's available all the time. I think it's one of those things that when it comes in it sells out. Let me know if you've seen it recently. But I've started using this again recently, and I really cannot tell a difference in it at all. I'm sure that the ingredients might be slightly different, but I know that there are silicones in the Moroccan Oil anyway, so I don't think that this has got kind of wow amazing healing properties for your hair, but correct me if I'm wrong. But for me, these do the same thing, and the price is massively different. Next I have some very summery eyeliners. I have two from Urban Decay, which I definitely pull out at this time of year. One of them is called Eldorado, and it's this gold one, and the other one is called Electric, and it's this electric blue colour. And they are both really good. I've actually got swatches of both of these dupes on my arm right now. I did this morning, I've showered, I've been out all day, I've come home. Boy, has it been a long one. As soon as I finished filming this, I'm putting my pyjamas on, my hair is going up, and I'm having a beer. It has been a really long Sunday, but by the by, I'm really impressed because I can still see them. The Urban Decay ones are obviously supposed to be 24/7, they're supposed to last a really long time, but the dupes underneath, I wasn't really testing them for longevity, I was just testing them for colour, and the fact that, you know, how often are you really going to wear kind of a blue eyeliner or a gold eyeliner? Probably not enough to warrant a big payout for one. Unless you're going to wear it all the time, in case, you know, each to their own, but I'm just kind of giving you an option. And I must say the Too True one didn't last all that well. That's definitely faded away. The Too True dupe, which is very similar, it's this packaging, the plastic is not going to help you decide there, but the Too True one is very similar when it's swatched. The difference between them is that the blue, the Electric from Urban Decay, and the Eldorado from Urban Decay have got a slight shimmer running through them, which makes them look a little bit brighter because obviously the light reflects that. But the Too True one is good in colour, good on application, but not so great with kind of long wearing. However, the Barry M one is absolutely amazing. The Barry M one I have is shade 8, I would imagine it's just called gold. The Too True one is called number 15. But the Barry M one is absolutely amazing. It is still completely holding its own against the Urban Decay one. I mean, you can't see very much from that distance, but you can still see both of them really. But the golden one especially, I'm really impressed with how well that's lasted, and definitely would not repurchase the Urban Decay one as and when, if ever, I'm going to run out of full pencil. A full gold eyeliner, probably not. I normally use it kind of on the inner corners of my eyes in a kind of summery makeup look, not normally like a full gold eyeliner thing, so probably won't run out of either of these, let alone both. But if I did, I would definitely repurchase the Barry M. And the Too True one, colour-wise, I'm really impressed with Too True eyeliners. These twist-up ones, the colour payoff is really good for a very low price point. The last few that I have are nail polishes. All blues, bizarrely, but I guess that's kind of colourful for summer. It's kind of blues and turquoises and stuff is good for summer. The first one I'm going to go into is this. It's Essie's Absolutely Sure, one of my all-time favourite nail polishes. Really nice with a tan, just an off-white mint green. And this is duped by Avon's Sprightly Mint. And I'll put a picture up now. I think I'm wearing kind of half my hand is Sprightly Mint, half of it is Absolutely Sure. And as far as I'm concerned, you cannot tell the difference. It could be, you know, very, very marginal, but regardless, neither is nicer than the other. So, you know, if you've not got kind of the budget for the Essie one, or you just want to save a few pounds and get the Avon one, I was really impressed with this. I felt like this dried quicker. It is the speed dry range. It dried quicker, it was opaque in less coats, and just generally I actually liked this one more than the Essie one, but colour wise very, very similar, if not identical. This one was actually brought to me by many of my Instagram readers or viewers or followers. I spoke a lot about China Glaze as too hot to handle recently. Love China Glaze. I'm wearing China Glaze with a Zoya polish on top right now. But China Glaze in general, massive, massive fan. And this is from the Sensational collection, which is one of my favourites. It's kind of this lit from within neon colour. I rave about it. I go on and on about how no other nail polish has come close to it. And when I spoke about this, and especially when you saw it on my nails, so many people said to me it's almost identical to the Jelly High Shine nail paint from Barry M in Greenberry. And I was just like, oh, it's never going to be the same. I was completely like, no, no, no. I'm sure it's similar, but it's not the same, it's not the same. It's totally the same. It just completely is the same. In the bottle it looks very, very similar, but on the nails it is like, it's as good as you need it to be. And the China Glaze one, although it's not mega expensive, I think I pay $4.95 for my China Glaze, so it's not a huge saving. They're not actually that readily available. You have to buy them online pretty much, unless you have a salon near you that sells them, or like a Sally's Beauty Supply, that kind of thing. Not kind of available in shops, not half as easy to get as the Barry M ones. Probably not going to get the 3 for 2 type deals on them, so it's still cheaper to get this one. And if you're into kind of the jelly shine and not having to wear a top coat, then this is going to win as well, because this one definitely needs a top coat because the finish in this is quite satin. I need a top coat, whatever, but let's not even get into that right now. But colour wise, the same. And the last thing I'm going to go into nail polish wise is Ciate. What colour is this? I have no idea. No, I cannot find anywhere on this bottle where it tells me what it's called, but I think it's called Kitten something. I'll link it below. And the dupe for this is also from Avon, and it's called Fast Time Teal. I discovered these dupes last summer actually, so I'm hoping you can still get these Avon colours, but again, really, really similar, pretty much exactly the same. Ciate is quite considerably more expensive, one of my more expensive nail polishes, and I'm just not that impressed with Ciate. I have another one, I think it's called Jelly Bean, which is a beautiful colour, but the nail polish formula and stuff, it's just not that great. And I generally find kind of across the board, nail polish is not that much better if you pay a lot more for it. It's generally, I will pay more for kind of colours that I can't dupe. So if I then can dupe them with something much cheaper, then what's the point? And this is a perfect example of this. So yes, another almost as close as you can kind of get dupe for me. I will give an honourable mention to the Naked palette dupes. I was never that impressed with the Naked 2 dupe from MUA, but the original Undressed dupe was amazing, and this new Revlon Iconic, is it called Iconic 3? Yes, Iconic 3 for the Naked 3 palette is also very, very good, and I have videos on both of these. If you want to see swatches, then you can see them there, but I can't do a dupes video and not mention these. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know whether or not you want to see something like this again in the future. I'm not sure how many dupes I can get together, but I might kind of more proactively seek out things that kind of match my higher end makeup if you guys would be interested in it. And don't forget to check out all the links below, because there will be lots more information, potentially swatches and things that you can see following other links, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!